Hey there, it's Rochelle Norman from Soundscaping Source, back with some business building basics for you. And in today's video, I'm going to answer another popular question, which is, how much do I charge? This is a question you're going to ask yourself over and over and over again, from when you very first start your business, to every time you consider a rate increase, to every time you hire somebody new, to every time you expand your business into a new area. There's a lot of strategy that goes into this. When you're thinking about your rates, you need to consider internal factors and external factors. Internal factors are the things in your that you need to make your organization run. Your budget, basically, is what that is. So that's where you start. You got to start with a basic budget for yourself. If you're a solo practitioner, you're going to figure out what you need for your salary on your personal budget. And then for your business, you're going to add up all the expenses that you're going to have to keep your business running. Professional liability insurance, guitar strings, CBMT maintenance fees, all of those things, you're going to add them all up to see what the total revenue is that you need for your business. Then you're going to calculate how much you can provide in services. 20 hours a week times 52 weeks a year, or maybe 20 hours a week times 48 weeks a year to give yourself some vacation. You're going to figure out how many hours you can provide, divide it out to figure out what you need per hour to break even. Once you figure out that break even point, then you can push that a little bit, your rate a little bit, to see how much of a profit you can make, feed that profit back into your business so that you can keep growing, okay? So those are the internal factors: your budget, your organizational needs, your personal needs, the profit margin that you're going for. Okay, that's first. Then you also need to consider the external factors. What will the market bear? What's the market condition like for you and for the services that you provide? You need to know what the people out there are expecting to pay for something that you're willing to provide. Now, if you're in an area where you're providing music therapy and they don't know what it is, they're going to be comparing your service to something that's familiar to them. And depending on what comparison they make, it may or may not be favorable for you, okay? So if you say, hey, I do music therapy for $125 an hour, and they're comparing you to the nice piano lady who comes in for $20 a month, then that's not a very good comparison for you, right? But if they're comparing you to a physical therapist who's contracting with the school district, maybe that's a little bit better comparison, right? Either way, you need to know what people are going to be comparing you to, what they're going to be expecting to pay for a service such as yours. If you're lucky enough to have other music therapists in the area, you can and you should talk with them about what music therapists in the area are charging. Now, we don't share specific information with each other because that's price fixing. We don't want to do that. What we can do is share ranges. So what I say when somebody comes to me, I'll say, I've heard of people charging anywhere from $50 to $100 per session. And that gives them a pretty decent range to work within. They can figure out in there what makes sense for them to charge, okay? So you want to go to the other music therapist and find out what's happening in your area. Now, there are a couple of published tools that you can use to help you set your rates to understand those market conditions that you're working with. AMTA publishes their Sourcebook, what used to be called Sourcebook, member survey every year based on that survey that we all get by social media or by email. There's a lot of data in there that can be helpful in pointing you in a direction for how much you want to charge. Also, if Soundscaping Source, my business, just released an elder care pricing report specifically for music therapists in senior living and hospice. We asked 80-something music therapy business owners to answer questions about how they charge for various services and how they're reimbursed for lots of different things. A lot of detail in that report. It has been released. It's out now, and you can see all the details of what music therapists around the country are charging for music therapy as well. So that's another tool available to you. Now, as I mentioned before, there is a lot of strategy that goes into pricing the services that you provide. Ideally, this is something that you want to work through with a coach or a mentor to help you make sure that you are charging as much as you can get, but not too much for the market, okay? To help you get the best profit margin that you can while still being able to provide the services that you want to provide. We go into much more depth in this in Rock That Contract. So if you are interested in going deeper in your business with me, check out rockthatcontract.com and I can help you with that. Also, make sure that you are signed up in the link below to get in for the next Business Building Basics video. That's all I have for today. I will see you next time.